Hello, disciples. It's me, your favorite Lord and Savior, Jesus. First, please like this video and share it. I didn't realize how much of a difference it makes until I looked at my analytics of my videos versus the times I don't ask, and I have to say that it definitely is worth asking. And I'm going to be better about mentioning the fact that all of my YouTube AdSense and Super Chat money, that's all the YouTube and Google revenue, goes directly from this channel, goes directly to an animal rescue without even ever touching my bank account. All the charity. And that's how it's always been, and that's how it will always be with this channel. And it's also worth noting that an average video of mine literally saves the life of a dog that would be otherwise put down at a normal shelter due to the inability to pay for expensive medications and or surgeries for these amazing animals. So know that when you are hitting that like button, and especially the share button, and sharing it with literally anybody, you're literally doing the Lord's work and saving the life of an animal in need. So thanks. I really appreciate it. It kind of puts a little pressure on me to not get demonetized and to get some views on a video when it actually does mean the difference between a dog being put down and a dog not. And so, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting that like button. And especially thanks for not having an ad blocker if you've got one. You know, disabling it just for this video and all of the rest of my videos. Anyways, with that said, I have a moving truck and movers coming in just a few hours from right now to move me from Long Beach, California to Portland, Oregon. So I'll try and make this brief, as this is literally the last video I will be shooting in this space ever. So if you want to skip to the part that is, you know, like skip ahead and just forgo the whole part that's probably going to make you a little angry and maybe a little sad, just go to the end of this video now and listen to the good news that I have to share. Because there is good news in all of this. Good news for you. Probably said good news a lot. It's a hint. So, yeah. Your bummer warning is about to start in 3, 2, 1, and okay, you've been warned. Got a nice Portland beer here. Deschutes. I'm headed to Portland in a matter of hours. And it's, well, it's all because of court. And that's why you're here, and that's what you wanted to see in this video. So, let me try and explain a little bit about what happened in the last 11 months. Actually, it's been 1 year and 1 month. It's been 13 months since this whole thing began. So, yeah. 1 year and over $100,000 later. All right. So before I begin, I guess I should mention how the family court system works here, specifically in California, because it's different in different states. Also, it's different in different parts of California, as I found out, because, well, I'll get into that later. But anyways, I got divorced about 7 years ago. And custody was decided then, 7 years ago, and it was decided that it would be 50-50 joint legal and joint physical. Because here in California, they separate custody into two parts, legal custody and physical custody. And I'll explain what those two are. Legal is basically like kind of the on-paper custody, like who's your legal guardian, but not really necessarily who makes the decisions for the child. That's physical custody. So physical custody is like, who has the kids when, basically, or who's the primary parent, because there's always a primary parent if there's visitation involved, and I have visitation, so I'm not the primary parent. That was decided to be my ex-wife 7 years ago, and then visitation, and it was 50-50 custody. But because of my job, because of the job I had then, I only got weekends. In fact, I didn't even get every weekend. I only got every other weekend, and that was decided then through mediation, not through court, but that's what was decided, and that's what the judge ruled on then. That was, 7 years ago. Fast forward to today, or I should say 13 months ago, when my ex-wife served me with papers saying that she wanted full custody so that she can move out of state. And that's required to move out of state because our agreement, our divorce agreement and our custody agreement was that, we had to keep the kids in California. You can't leave without the other person's permission and so forth. So that was what was agreed, and that's what we stuck to. But she got a job. She's a nurse. She got a job in Oregon, and a good job. I mean, a really good job. I don't blame her for wanting to take that job. And she also has her parents and her family there. So I don't blame her for wanting to go there. I just, I didn't want to uproot my whole life. I didn't want to take my kids. They've lived there their whole life. They don't live here in Long Beach. They live somewhere else in California. Somewhere else that's a lot more religious, a lot more traditional valued, more I guess, conservative in thinking. And much, much more so than here in Long Beach. I wish we had gone to court here in Los Angeles. I would have had a better chance. But literally, it was probably the most conservative court in all of California. But that's beside the point. I wanted to keep my kids in California, where they've always been their whole life, where I've been my whole life. And that just didn't work out. I lost. I also wasn't just fighting to keep them in California. I was fighting to have 50-50 custody, to maintain 50-50 custody, which I had before, but not only have 50-50 custody, but to change the visitation to where I have them half the time. Because my job is now such that I have a very flexible schedule. I am able to be with my children all the time, unlike my ex-wife, who isn't able to be with my children all the time. She's a nurse, so she's only able to be with them for a little bit of the time, and when she is with them, she's usually having to sleep because she works very long shifts. So, my kids are mostly in the care of a babysitter or childcare. I wanted to change that. I wanted to be, instead of them being in the custody and care of a stranger or a babysitter, I wanted them in the custody and care of me. It's hard to make that happen because we lived in different cities. But even moving to Oregon, I pled with the judge, and so did my lawyer pled with the judge, that grant me 50-50 because I can exercise it. Unlike my ex-wife, I can actually be there 100% of the time with my kids. But despite all that, I lost. I lost all custody. I lost 100% physical custody, and I just maintained joint legal custody. Now, all that means is, on paper, I'm still my kid's dad. But if my ex-wife decided she doesn't want to vaccinate him, she could, and there's nothing I can do about it. I don't have the power to take my kids out of school or, I don't really have any authority over my kids, or especially in regards to my ex-wife. Plus, there's the whole religious aspect of it, which I don't have a say in, and that sucks. So it's devastating. It's hard. It sucks. How did I lose? Well, let me walk you through that. First, let me just say that I am sure that this decision, this court decision, this ruling was already made a year ago. I'm almost sure of that. And the reason I know this is because I know my ex-wife's lawyer sought out this judge, a specific judge. Why? Well, the very, very first day of court, I knew this whole thing was over, and I didn't stand a chance. Not only because my lawyer pretty much told me straight up, he was like, uh-oh, I need to get you a different judge. I need to file a something or other to get you a different judge, because if it's early enough and we haven't done any testimony or anything like that, we can get a different judge. And he's like, like this whole thing depends on it. And he filed his motion and it was denied. And then I found out why. Because in the judge's courtroom, she had a big cross. I mean, it wasn't that big. It was this big. It was like a picture about this big with flowers. It was like, I'll never forget this thing. It's just flowers. And in the middle of it is a white cross, just right in the middle. And it's right there on her courtroom wall. And she's the only one. Well, at least on that floor. I think there's probably more courtrooms, but I think there's like 3 family courts. And I poked my head in all of them. Maybe there's 4. I think there's 4. And I poked my head in each one of them. None of the other ones had a cross hanging on their wall. Why is that a big deal? Well, because it showed that my judge immediately had a religious bias. And me being who I am, I knew that was going to be a big, big problem. And so did my judge, or so did my lawyer. My first lawyer. Yeah, first lawyer, because I got 2 lawyers. Here's the other thing. First, let me just take a moment to illustrate how weird it is to have a cross in your courtroom. Okay? How weird it is to have any religious symbols, but especially a cross, a crucifix. Here is why. Because if you love somebody, you truly love them, and you really love them, you have empathy for them, why the hell would you hang up their torture device, their murder device, up as a memorial, like in your courtroom? Why? Why would you wear it around your neck? If your daughter, your son was murdered in cold blood with a 9mm Glock, would you wear a necklace of a little 9mm Glock around your neck? Would you hang one up in a shadow box on your wall of your courtroom? It's so freaking weird. And it also shows that you are biased. And it shows that you believe that a magic man died on it for you. And you need to show that in order to get somewhere in the afterlife. And that freaking sucks. Not only that, but my lawyer totally screwed me over. My first lawyer, which I had to fire because there were, first of all, out of 5 hearings, he only showed up on time once. And you know how bad that is? You know how frustrating that is? You know how stressful that is to be there in court and it's starting and your lawyer's not there? It sucks. I called him once to talk to him during business hours, and he was drunk and slurring and ordering drinks on the phone with me. Multiple things was wrong with this guy. His language, his professionalism. Not only that, he was disbarred recently, very recently, for not paying his child support. And I'm pretty sure the judge knew that, because the judge and he just recently got reinstated. And I wish I knew that before I hired him. But I went up solely based off of Yelp reviews, which is not a good idea. Don't ever hire anybody just based off of Yelp reviews. And I hired him because he was out of town. And I couldn't be there to interview people, so I just looked through Yelp and I got screwed. I had to fire him after spending nearly over $80,000 and getting nowhere in this case. And I got a new lawyer who's been amazing. My new lawyer's been fantastic, but he had an uphill battle from the get-go, and he didn't stand a chance either. It wasn't his, and it's not his fault. So, the 730 evaluation, that was the whole psychological evaluation that I went through, that my kids went through, and we passed with flying colors, me and my kids. In fact, I would actually say I did better than my ex-wife. This is one area where the board-certified clinical psychologist verified by interviews of me, interviewing my kids, interviewing my ex-wife, taking tests, personality tests. We even did Rorschach tests, which I think are total bullshit. But yeah, like ink blot tests. I did ink blot tests. But I think the interviews are what really were important. And interviewing my kids was important because I didn't want my kids to go into court. I didn't want my kids to have to testify, and I didn't want my kids to have to choose a side, to choose which parent. I wanted the court to decide, not my children, because that's not that's not right. That's not a right decision to put on. Even though my kid, two of my kids offered to testify in court, but I was like, no. And my oldest was very mature, super mature, way more mature beyond her years, and just wanted to stay out of it completely. Didn't want to take any sides either way, and just is a complete sweetheart. I don't blame her for that. So it was better to have a psychologist interview them outside of a courtroom, to not keep them away from all that, and figure out, really get to the heart of the matter, what's going on. And it turns out my kids love me. They feel safe with me. They feel loved by me. They feel secure by me, and they feel like I listen and I understand, and I hear them, and we have good communication, even better than my ex-wife, and in some cases with some of my kids, at least as far as like not feeling judged and not feeling just feeling safer and being able to open up more and things like that. It's the important things, the things that really matter to me, and they love me. Most importantly, they love me, and they want to spend more time with me. And they told, all of them, express that. But it didn't matter because this judge had it already decided. And I know this because of her language in the very extensive ruling report that comes out that had very little, if nothing, to do with my ability as a parent and my kids' affection for me and that, and mostly to do with how offensive I am, and the language I use, and things I've text messaged to my ex-wife, and things I've like said online on YouTube as me. It's Jesus in character, and nothing to do with me as a parent. The bias shows so much in this, but I knew that was coming, and I knew I didn't stand much of a chance in California. Well, not just California, but this specific court, this county. I don't want to say necessarily specifically where. It doesn't matter, but I think I'm going to have a much better chance in Oregon. Oregon is a much more secular, progressive place than this particular county that I was in California. Not Los Angeles County. I wish I was in Los Angeles County. So I actually stand a better chance there. I didn't want to do appeals. Appeals was going to mean more money in California and not necessarily help me. And judges tend to want to back up other judges, even if their rulings are obviously biased or whatever. It's just best to just try to start this thing anew in Oregon, and that's what I plan on doing. So, yes, I'm still fighting. Yes, I need your help. Yes, this sucks. But I don't know if I'm going to go directly through the legal system and get a lawyer. Hey, if you're a lawyer and you want a pro bono and you want to, please reach out to me. Otherwise, it looks like I'm going back to school. And I'm just going to pass the bar myself because I think I could do it in less than a year. If I have your help, because I need help. It's expensive, but I can do it. And I think it'd be way cheaper than trying to hire a lawyer to do it again in Oregon. So that's my new plan. All right. And the reason I'm moving to Oregon now, moving to Portland, is because I will be able to execute essentially the same visitation that I have now, which is twice a month, 2 weekends a month, which sucks. It's not enough time. It's not. But it's better than if I stay here in California, because then I only get summer and Christmas break. And that's not enough time. I need to be with my kids as much as possible. And also, if I'm there in Oregon, I can still attend their school events, their plays, their sporting events, their dance recitals, like I do now currently. And I've never missed a single one. And I never plan to miss a single one. hence I'm headed north. So, my new living situation, I'm going to be in Oregon. I haven't exactly completely locked that down. I know that sounds weird. You're leaving today, but you don't have your place locked down? Yeah, I know. That not for lack of trying. I went to Portland 2 weeks ago and pretty much got everything locked down, but then it kind of fell through. And I found a new place, and I'm 99% sure it's going to be okay. Yeah, it's still not 100% locked down, so I'm a little nervous. But I do have temporary housing lined up, thanks to a disciple of mine. I won't say your name now because I'm not sure you want to be mentioned, but maybe later in the next video. He's graciously offered me a guest house at your residence in Portland, and thank you very much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And so I'll have a little bit of buffer time to get my stuff. All my stuff's going into storage in Portland, and then it'll move from storage into my new place. So now, the good news. Because there's good news. All right. I take one of these. The news is Portland has really good beer. And I have to say, I like it better than wine. Okay, new content. That's right, new content. Not just new content, but regularly scheduled content. That's my announcement, guys. And not, these aren't just words, because like I tried piloting some stuff before, but I have a team. That's right. I have built an actual team of producers, writers, director, editor, and everything to put together actual scheduled content. Yes. So you guys can thank St. Kelly, St. Sean, St. Timothy for making it possible to bring to you guys the good news. That's the good news. Okay, so we're doing the good news like legit. And it's going to start out weekly, and then twice a week, and then 3 times a week, and then 4 times a week, and then build up to 5 times a week, where I'm going to give you guys, hopefully by the end of by the time the schedule's over, but very soon, within once a week, but it'll soon, almost daily content, essentially is what I'm telling you guys. It's soon coming, and this is going to be good. You will always be able to count on coming here to get fresh, new, uplifting, good, warm your heart, fill you with the warms and fuzzies news on the daily. And that's going to be awesome. So, yay. And that's going to happen in Portland. And it wouldn't happen anywhere else. So that's a good thing that's coming out of this. So thank you very much. Now, you've watched this far. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot, and it makes a big difference for me. And if you haven't checked out my Patreon, please do so, because I'm going to ramp that up big time, especially with this new show that's coming out, The Good News. So I'll take this time right now to thank my Patreon members, especially my apostles. Apostles. And what else? Oh, new shirts. I have new shirts in my merch store, and they're actually awesome. They're shirts I would wear if I wasn't all tunic all the time, if you know what I mean. So I got designs like this one, and this one, and this one, and that one, and I got like a bong one, and like a weed one, and like a DJ one. I got all kinds of cool ones. Go to the link down below and check it out. Get something for yourself and a loved one. And then also, if you have any other last minute gifts, I will be doing Fivers and Cameos even on Christmas Day. So like up until Christmas Day or even afterwards, you can get a Fiver from me or a Cameo, a personal shout out video for anybody you love. So think about it. Like, I'm the OG Santa. I could like put on a hat, or a crown of thorns or whatever you like, and I could wish anybody you love a Merry Christmas anywhere around the world, like instantly. And that's pretty cool. So do that. And yeah, also my next video is probably going to be a vlog video of like this whole moving process. I'm going to vlog like loading the moving van and doing a road trip and, packing and all that stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you like this video if you haven't. And yeah, next time I see you, I'll be in Portland. Jesus. Hey, it's nuts.
Please kill us, Jesus, for hurting you. Please send our lives for hurting you, Jesus. If you take our lives, it would be holy. If you kill our friends, it would be good. Kill our parents, our brothers and sisters, Jesus. We murdered you, so do us. Jesus died.